Listen to me carefully. Most men, most people are trapped in survival mode. They wake up every day, go through the motions, and think that just existing is enough. I'm telling you right now, it's not. Surviving is weak. It's the mindset of someone who settles, someone who lets life control them instead of taking control of life. If you want to be elite, if you want to dominate your reality, you need to stop surviving and start winning. Winning isn't about luck. It's about discipline, strategy, and raw action. You have to be relentless. Every excuse you make, every moment you waste is another chance lost to build power, wealth, and influence. Look in the mirror. Are you living or are you just enduring? Winners don't endure, they conquer. Winners don't wait for opportunities, they create them. And here's the kicker. The world doesn't owe you anything. Nobody is going to hand you a win. You have to grab it with both hands and refuse to let go. Start today. Stop thinking small. Stop apologizing for wanting more. Push past your comfort. Embrace the struggle and develop a mindset that refuses to lose. You're not here to survive. You're here to dominate, to rise above, to leave a legacy that no one can erase. Look, most people go through life pretending they're in control, but here's the brutal truth. You're not. If you're pointing fingers, blaming the economy, your boss, your parents, or some random circumstance for why you're stuck, you're lying to yourself. Every excuse you make is a leash around your own potential, and it's holding you back from the level of life you could dominate. You need to wake up and understand that no one is coming to rescue you. No one is handing out victories, and the world doesn't owe you a single thing. If you want to rise above, you have to stop whining and start owning your reality completely. And when I say owning it, I mean looking in the mirror and seeing the raw truth, your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, your failures, and saying, this is mine and I'm going to conquer it. Every successful person you've ever admired didn't wait for permission. They didn't rely on luck or hope that circumstances would suddenly align in their favor. They assessed the cards they were dealt, accepted them fully, and then played them with ruthless precision. That's what owning your reality means. It's not sugarcoating. It's not making excuses. It's saying, this is where I stand. This is what I control, and I will manipulate every element of it to achieve what I want. And here's the hook that most people fail to grasp. Reality is flexible, but only if you take full responsibility. The moment you blame someone or something else, you hand your power away. You shrink. You survive instead of winning. Look around you. Most people are trapped in illusions. They scroll, complain, and dream about a life they think belongs to someone else. If I had that job, if I had that money, if I had that partner, then I'd be happy. That's not happiness. That's dependency. That's survival mode dressed up as ambition. True winners don't wait for external validation. They don't wait for the world to smile at them. They create the conditions themselves. They don't ask, they take. They don't hope, they act. And you can start doing this today. Right now, you can decide that no more excuses will touch your mind. Every challenge, every obstacle, every failure, it's yours to master. Not someone else's fault, not some cosmic injustice. Yours to dominate. Owning your reality also means being honest about your weaknesses. Nobody likes admitting flaws, but here's the secret. The second you see your flaws clearly, the second you stare them down, that's when power begins. You can't improve what you hide. Every skill they lack, every habit they need to change, every mental block they have, they name it, they own it, and they destroy it. That's the difference between surviving and winning. And don't forget this. Owning your reality is not comfortable. It's not some fluffy self-help mantra. It's brutal, it's unrelenting, and it will test you every day. But here's the hook. The discomfort is where growth lives. The more you face your truth, the more you control your circumstances, the more unshakable you become. Every time you refuse to blame, every time you refuse to let fear dictate your actions, you gain leverage over life itself. You start bending reality to your will instead of bending yourself to its pressures. That's how empires are built, how legacies are forged, and how winners leave the masses behind. Owning your reality is not optional. It's the foundation. You either take control of your life completely with no excuses and no compromises, or you remain a spectator forever surviving. The choice is yours and the clock is ticking. Every second you hesitate, someone else is out there seizing what could have been yours. Most people are living in a cage and don't even realize it. They think surviving, just scraping by, following routines, clocking in, clocking out, is the definition of life. Let me tell you something. Surviving is weak. Surviving is for people who are afraid to face the truth, afraid to take risks, afraid to lose. If you wake up every day just to endure, if your goals are small and safe, you're not living, you're existing. You've been conditioned to believe that comfort equals success, that stability equals security, and that settling is acceptable. That's a lie fed to you by society, by the weak, and by people who don't want you to win. If you want to dominate your life, if you want to rise above the average, you have to break free from survival mode completely. And the first step is realizing that survival is the enemy. Here's the hook most people don't get. Comfort is deadly. Comfort kills ambition. Comfort robs you of your edge. When you settle for the bare minimum, your potential dies silently inside you. Every day you choose ease over effort. Every day you choose fear over action. You shrink. You convince yourself that tomorrow will be better, that the opportunity will come later, that someone else will take care of you. But that's a trap. Winners don't wait. Winners don't hope. Winners create. And the moment you decide that mediocrity is unacceptable, that moment you choose to fight instead of fold, your survival mindset cracks and power begins to flow into your life. Breaking free from survival mode also requires clarity. You have to see where you are, where you've been, and where you're going. Most people live in autopilot. They follow patterns, repeat mistakes, and call it life experience. That's survival. Winners study life like a chessboard. They understand the moves, the threats, the opportunities. They plan strategically. They attack relentlessly. And here's the punch. The more you own your strategy, the less life can surprise you. Every choice becomes intentional, every risk calculated, every moment a chance to grow stronger, faster, smarter. Survival is reactive. Winning is proactive. And if you want to leave survival behind, you need to start thinking like a winner. You also have to embrace discomfort. The truth is, the path out of survival mode is never easy. It's not safe. It's not guaranteed. But nothing worth dominating ever comes without struggle. The people who stay in survival mode are terrified of pain, of criticism, of failure. They hide behind excuses and procrastination. But winners? They welcome the grind. They step into the fire knowing it will forge them into something stronger. Every time you push past fear, every time you take action when others hesitate, you widen the gap between yourself and the average. That's how winners separate from survivors. That's how you eke the cage, and step into power. And here's the thing nobody tells you. Breaking free is as much mental as it is physical. You can't change your life without changing your mindset. Survival mode is rooted in fear, laziness, and indecision. To escape it, you must train your mind to see possibilities where others see walls, to take risks where others see danger, and to act decisively where others hesitate. Every thought, every habit, every decision must be a deliberate choice to move closer to mastery, wealth, and influence. The moment your mind changes, the moment you refuse to settle, the moment you reject survival mode, you start winning. Breaking free isn't optional if you want greatness. Life will always push you toward comfort, toward mediocrity, toward safety. Every second you stay in survival mode, you allow life to dictate your limits. But the second you decide to step up, to embrace risk, to pursue excellence without apology, you start living on your terms. That's power. That's dominance. That's freedom. Let me tell you something. Most people will never admit talent without discipline is worthless. You can have potential, skills, even intelligence, but if you surrender to comfort, if you let laziness dictate your life, you will never dominate. Comfort is a lie dressed up in safety. It feels good, it feels easy, but it slowly kills your ambition, your drive, and your edge. Every time you choose to scroll, to procrastinate, to settle for less than you're capable of, you are programming yourself for mediocrity. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Discipline is the muscle that turns raw potential into unstoppable power. And here's the hook most people ignore. Discipline is not a restriction, it's freedom. The more disciplined you are, the more control you have over your life, your results, and your destiny. The moment you prioritize comfort over discipline, you lose. Think about it. Every successful person you admire didn't get there by lounging on a couch waiting for luck. They got there by making sacrifices every single day, by saying no to the easy, convenient, and painless option, and by saying yes to growth, struggle, and relentless effort. Discipline is the consistent refusal to let your weaker self win. It's the ability to do what's necessary, even when you don't feel like it, even when the world is screaming that you should stop. And here's the punch. Comfort is always loud, always tempting, always seductive, but discipline is silent, invisible, and often lonely. But it builds empires, not excuses. Most people misunderstand discipline. They think it's punishment, rigidity, or deprivation. It's none of that. Discipline is a decision, a daily commitment to yourself that your goals, your vision, and your life matter more than fleeting pleasure. It's choosing the gym over the couch, the book over the scroll, the challenge over the easy path, the long-term win over short-term satisfaction. That's where the gap forms between the average and the elite. The average lives for comfort, the elite lives for results. Comfort gives you temporary satisfaction. Discipline gives you permanent power. And here's the hook. The more you embrace discipline, the less power comfort has over you. You start controlling your impulses, your actions, and ultimately your outcomes. Discipline also builds mental toughness. You see, life doesn't care about feelings, excuses, or mood. Life tests you every single day. People who chase comfort crumble under pressure, while disciplined people thrive. Every early morning, every tough decision, every sacrifice strengthens your ability to endure, to perform, to dominate. Comfort weakens you. It makes you fragile. Discipline makes you unbreakable. And here's the kicker. You don't need motivation to succeed. You need discipline. Motivation is temporary, fleeting, unreliable. Discipline is permanent, consistent, unstoppable. The moment you internalize that, you stow. Relying on feeling like it and start acting no matter what. That's when winners separate from survivors. Discipline over comfort also creates freedom. It may sound counterintuitive, but here's the truth. The more you deny immediate gratification, the more you can achieve massive results that give you real power, real influence, and real options in life. People chase comfort and end up trapped. Trapped in debt, trapped in jobs they hate, trapped in relationships that don't serve them. Discipline breaks those chains. Discipline allows you to build wealth, health, skills, and confidence. It allows you to dictate your life instead of letting circumstances dictate it for you. And the hook here is brutal. The easier your life feels today, the weaker you're becoming for tomorrow. Discipline is the only way to future-proof yourself, to create a life that isn't dictated by luck, fate, or other people. The final truth about discipline is this: it's not glamorous, it's not exciting, it's lonely, repetitive, and often painful. But every time you choose it, you build a foundation so strong that nothing, no person, no obstacle can shake you. Every time comfort whispers, you resist, and every time you resist, you grow. Discipline is power, and power is freedom. The moment you consistently choose discipline over comfort, you start winning life on your terms. Most people sit around hoping for luck, waiting for a break, praying that life will hand them something. They think success is a gift, a coincidence, a twist of fate. Let me tell you something brutal. It's not. Life doesn't care about your wishes. The world doesn't owe you a chance. Opportunity doesn't knock politely on your door. If you want to win, if you want to dominate, you have to create your own opportunities, and you have to do it relentlessly. Waiting is the luxury of the weak. Waiting is the trap that keeps ordinary people ordinary. Winners don't wait. They take, they act, they execute, and they do it with a precision and intensity that leaves everyone else behind. Here's the hook. Most people never realize opportunity is everywhere, but it's invisible to the unprepared. Most people see obstacles. Winners see openings. Most people complain about circumstances. Winners manipulate circumstances to their advantage. Every connection you make, every skill you learn, every risk you take has the potential to become an opportunity, but only if you act. You can sit there hoping for someone to notice you, hoping for the universe to smile your way, or you can step up and build the life you want with your own two hands. That's the difference between surviving and dominating. Creating opportunities requires action, not thought. Dreams are worthless without execution. Plans are meaningless if they sit on paper. You have to move. You have to make bold choices. You have to put yourself in situations where doors will appear, even if it means risking failure. And here's the punch. Failure is not a deterrent. It's a signal. Every failed attempt teaches you something, exposes a weakness, or opens a new path you didn't see before. Waiting, on the other hand, teaches nothing. It erodes your confidence, dulls your instincts, and leaves your potential buried under excuses. The hook that hits hardest is this: the world is full of people who complain that opportunities are rare. That's a lie. Opportunities are abundant. They exist for the bold, the relentless, the prepared. The moment you stop waiting for someone else to give you permission, the moment you stop asking and start creating, life starts bending in your favor. And the crazy part? Most people will still criticize you, doubt you, and tell you you're reckless. That's perfect because critics are irrelevant to winners. Their opinions don't create opportunities. They only reveal who is too weak to act. Creating opportunities also means building your network, your skills, and your visibility. You can't wait for opportunity to fall in your LA. You have to make yourself noticeable, desirable, and essential. You have to become the person who solves problems, who adds value, who generates results. People will gravitate towards you, not because you're lucky, but because you are unstoppable. And here's the kicker. The more you put yourself out there, the more doors appear. The more doors appear, the more leverage you gain. That's the cycle of winners. Action creates opportunity. Opportunity creates power, and power multiplies results. Opportunities are also about timing and courage. Most people freeze when chance appears. They hesitate, doubt, and let fear dictate their response. Winners act decisively, immediately, without overthinking. They understand that hesitation is the enemy of progress. If you wait for the perfect moment, it will never come. Perfection is an illusion designed to keep you small. You create the moment by taking action, by moving forward when others stand still. Every risk you take, every initiative you seize, compounds into bigger opportunities that change your life completely. And here's the truth nobody tells you. The life you dream about doesn't wait for you. It doesn't care if you're comfortable, prepared, or scared. The only way to claim it is to move first, act hard, and never let hesitation steal your future. Opportunity rewards the bold, the proactive, and the relentless. The moment you embrace that truth, you stop waiting, you stop hoping, and you start winning. Most people are afraid of losing. They fear failure, rejection, and embarrassment so much that they never even try. They tiptoe through life, avoiding risks, staying safe, and hoping that mediocrity will protect them. Let me tell you something. That's weakness. Winners don't live in fear. Winners refuse to lose. Refusing to lose isn't about arrogance. It's about mindset, about training yourself to see defeat as unacceptable, about understanding that survival is not the standard. The hook most people miss is this. Every time you accept losing, even a little, you shrink your potential, you surrender your power, and you hand control of your life to circumstances instead of taking it yourself. Refusing to lose starts in your mind. It starts with absolute, uncompromising belief in your ability to dominate. You have to be relentless in your self-expectations. The moment you allow doubt to creep in, the moment you tolerate weakness, you're setting yourself up to be outpaced, outperformed, and outclassed. Winners understand that losing is not just a result, it's a choice if you accept excuses. Every obstacle, every setback, every criticism is a test of whether you are willing to stand firm or crumble. And here's the punch. The stronger your refusal to lose, the more the world bends in your favor. Most people think refusing to lose is about never failing, but that's a lie. Refusing to lose is about persistence, about resilience, about turning every failure into fuel. Every time you get knocked down, every time you face defeat, you extract lessons, sharpen your skills, and come back stronger. The hook that cuts through weakness is brutal. Losers let defeat define them. Winners let it refine them. You see, life will hit you constantly. It will test your patience, your discipline, your confidence. It will try to break you. Most people break. Winners refuse. They turn every punch, every challenge into momentum. They learn faster, strike harder, and dominate more completely because they refuse to accept loss as final. Refusing to lose also means refusing to compromise your standards. Too many people settle because losing seems easier than fighting. They settle for low-paying jobs, mediocre relationships, and small dreams. That's not life. That's surrender. Winners never settle. Winners raise the bar constantly, and they refuse to accept anything less than what they can achieve. The hook here is clear. Every compromise is a step toward losing. Every step toward mediocrity is a leash on your potential. If you want to win big, you must refuse to settle, refuse to give in, and refuse to accept anything below your vision. This mindset transforms every decision you make. Every challenge becomes a battlefield, and you become a warrior. You analyze, plan, and execute with precision, knowing that failure is not an option. Refusing to lose means taking calculated risks, facing fear head on, and embracing discomfort as the price of victory. Most people avoid discomfort, but winners chase it because they know that the more they endure, the more unshakable they become. The hook is simple, but lethal. If you fear losing, you'll never gain. If you refuse to lose, you'll dominate every arena of life. Refusing to lose also means taking full responsibility for your outcomes. Nobody else is responsible for your success or failure. Winners never blame luck, the economy, or other people. They internalize every setback and use it as fuel to adjust, adapt, and attack harder. The second you blame someone else for a loss, you lose control. The second you take ownership, you seize power. The hook here is relentless. Your life is yours. Your results are yours. And refusing to lose is the ultimate declaration that you will never allow mediocrity, fear, or weakness to dictate your path. Winners understand that refusing to lose isn't a temporary mindset, it's a lifestyle. Every action, every habit, every decision is aligned with victory. You fight for your goals, you protect your standards, you pursue excellence relentlessly. Every second you choose to stand, to act, and to refuse defeat compounds into power, influence, and freedom. Losing is optional. Refusing to lose is mandatory. Most people live their entire lives without leaving a mark. They work, they survive, they die, and the world moves on without even noticing. That's the life of a spectator, a follower, a survivor. Leaving a legacy is not about ego. It's about creating something that outlasts you. Something that proves you existed and dominated. The hook most people ignore is brutal. The world doesn't remember those who play small. It only remembers the bold, the relentless, the people who refuse to settle, who refuse to compromise, and who built something that echoed beyond themselves. A legacy is power multiplied, influence cemented, and proof that you didn't waste your one life on excuses. Leaving a legacy starts with vision. You can't build something that lasts if you don't know what you want it to be. Most people drift, hoping their lives will somehow matter. That's weakness. Winners see clearly. They define the impact they want to make, the standards they will live by, and the mark they will leave. And here's the hook. Clarity is power. The more precise your vision, the more unstoppable your execution. You can't leave a legacy by accident. You create it with intent, strategy, and relentless action. A legacy also requires dominance in every area that matters to you. Most people focus on survival, chasing money, comfort, or approval. That's short-term thinking. Legacy is about excellence in every dimension: wealth, health, influence, skills, and mindset. It's about building systems, creating opportunities, and inspiring others to rise as you rise. The hook here hits hard. If your impact dies with you, your life was wasted. True power comes from leaving structures, systems, and standards that others can follow and respect long after you're gone. Every decision you make contributes to your legacy. Every habit, every relationship, every action compounds into the story you leave behind. Winners are deliberate. They choose actions that magnify their impact and refuse to indulge in anything that weakens it. Mediocrity, comfort, laziness, and fear are enemies of legacy. Every time you choose the easy path, you chip away at your potential influence. Every time you choose courage, effort, and excellence, you build something permanent. The hook is ruthless. The quality of your life measured by the mark you leave on the world, not by the moments you survived. Leaving a legacy also requires courage to stand alone. Most people conform, follow, and fade into obscurity because being extraordinary is uncomfortable and lonely. Winners embrace discomfort because they understand that true influence is never mass-produced. It is forged through sacrifice, discipline, and relentless pursuit of vision. The hook here is undeniable. If you chase comfort and approval, you will never be remembered. If you dare to be different, to dominate, to lead, the world will eventually notice. A legacy isn't just about wealth or power, it's about influence. The people you touch, the standards you set, the lessons you teach, and the inspiration you ignite all contribute to the chain reaction of impact. Every time you push boundaries, break limitations, and refuse to accept mediocrity, you send a ripple that continues beyond your presence. The hook is compelling. You have the chance to build a life that doesn't end when you die, a life that shapes minds, motivates others, and rewrites the possibilities for those who follow. Leaving a legacy also demands relentless action. Vision without execution is fantasy. Influence without results is irrelevant. To leave something meaningful, you must move decisively, risk boldly, and act without hesitation. Every day is a chance to add to the foundation of your legacy, to refine it and to amplify it. The hook is direct. If you wait, if you procrastinate, if you hesitate, your legacy is lost. Power, respect, and influence favor those who strike, who conquer, and who refuse to fade quietly into the background. Legacy is the ultimate measure of a life well lived. It's the imprint of your decisions, the echo of your dominance, and the proof that you didn't settle for surviving. The world doesn't reward survivors, it remembers winners. The choice is yours. Fade into obscurity or build something so powerful that it outlasts you, inspires generations, and cements your name in history. So get up, focus, and start winning. The life you dream about doesn't wait for survivors. It belongs to winners.